If I told you that some of the most powerful compounds that help your body defend itself against cancer are already sitting in your kitchen right now, you might think I'm exaggerating, because when we hear the word cancer, we immediately think of hospitals, treatments, complex therapies. But here's what most people are never told, especially after 50. Cancer doesn't begin overnight. It develops slowly, quietly, over years, sometimes decades. And during that time, your body is constantly trying to do something remarkable: detect abnormal cells, repair damage, and prevent those cells from growing out of control. I'm Dr. Richard, and today I'm going to show you how certain everyday foods may help support those natural defense systems by reducing inflammation, protecting your DNA, and improving the internal environment your cells live in. Now let's be very clear about something. No food can cure cancer, and nothing you eat replaces proper medical care. But what you eat every single day may influence whether your body becomes more supportive of disease or more protective against it. And this becomes more important with age, because after 50, several things begin to shift inside your body. Inflammation tends to rise slightly. Your ability to repair damaged DNA becomes less efficient, and your immune system becomes a little slower at detecting abnormal cells. Not dramatically, but enough that small daily choices begin to matter more. So instead of thinking in terms of miracle foods, I want you to think in terms of biological support. What helps your body defend itself better? What reduces the internal conditions where problems grow? And that's where we begin. Let's start with something simple, but more powerful than most people realize: cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage. Now, at first glance, these may seem like ordinary vegetables, but inside them is a compound called sulforaphane. And sulforaphane has been studied for its ability to activate what we call detoxification enzymes. Think of these enzymes as your body's internal filtration system. They help neutralize potentially harmful compounds before they can damage your cells. But here's where it gets more interesting. Sulforaphane may also support your body's ability to protect DNA from damage, because one of the earliest steps in cancer development is DNA mutation, damage that accumulates slowly over time. So while broccoli is not a treatment, regularly including it in your diet may help support the systems that reduce that damage in the first place. Not dramatic, but consistent. And that consistency is what matters. Now let's go one step deeper. Berries, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries. These are rich in compounds called anthocyanins. These are powerful antioxidants, and antioxidants help neutralize free radicals, unstable molecules that can damage your cells. Now here's a simple way to understand this. Imagine your cells are constantly exposed to tiny sparks. Most of the time your body puts them out, but over time, if too many sparks build up, they begin to damage important structures. Antioxidants help extinguish those sparks before they cause harm, and berries are one of the most concentrated natural sources. But that's not all. Research also suggests that diets rich in berries are associated with reduced inflammation and better cellular resilience. And this is where things begin to connect. Less oxidative stress, less inflammation, better internal environment. And that environment matters. Now here's where it gets more important, because the next food doesn't just support your cells, it directly interacts with your immune system. Garlic, not as a seasoning, but as a biological tool. Garlic contains a compound called allicin, which forms when garlic is crushed or chopped. And allicin has been studied for its potential anti-inflammatory and immune-supporting properties. Now remember, your immune system plays a critical role in identifying abnormal cells, almost like a surveillance system. And when that system becomes weaker or less responsive, it may miss early warning signs. Some observational studies have even linked higher garlic intake with lower rates of certain digestive cancers. Now that doesn't prove cause and effect, but it highlights something important. Your daily diet can influence how alert and how responsive your immune system is. And garlic, simple as it is, plays a role in that. But the real issue after 50 goes even deeper, because one of the strongest drivers of disease risk is something most people don't feel directly: chronic inflammation. Not the kind you notice when you get injured, but low-grade, ongoing inflammation inside the body. This type of inflammation can quietly damage tissues, affect hormones, and create an environment where abnormal cells are more likely to grow. And this is where the next food becomes critical. Fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel. These are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, and omega-3s have been consistently linked to reduced inflammation in the body. They help regulate inflammatory signals, support cell membrane health, and improve communication between cells. Think of your cells as constantly sending messages. Omega-3s help those messages stay clear, balanced, and controlled. Without them, signaling becomes more chaotic, more inflammatory, and over time, that matters, especially for aging tissues. But what happens next may be the most important part of all, because the final food doesn't just reduce damage, it may influence how cells behave at a deeper level. Green tea. Now this is where we move beyond general nutrition into something more targeted. Green tea contains a compound called EGCG, a powerful antioxidant studied for its effects on cellular processes. Research has shown that EGCG may help reduce oxidative stress, support healthy cell signaling, and influence how abnormal cells grow and respond. Now again, this is not a treatment, but it's a powerful example of how natural compounds can interact with your biology in meaningful ways. And populations that regularly consume green tea have been observed to have lower rates of certain chronic diseases. Now that doesn't mean green tea is the reason, but it does suggest that these small daily habits add up over time. And this brings us to the most important insight of all. It's not one food. It's not one nutrient. It's the environment you create inside your body every single day. Because cancer doesn't grow in isolation. It grows in an environment influenced by inflammation, oxidative stress, immune function, and cellular repair. And the foods you choose help shape that environment. So instead of asking, what can I take to fix the problem, a better question becomes, what can I do daily to make my body less supportive of disease and more supportive of health? Because that's where real prevention begins. Now let's make this practical. You don't need a perfect diet. You don't need extreme changes. Start simple. Add a serving of vegetables like broccoli a few times a week. Include berries regularly. Use garlic in your meals. Aim for fatty fish a couple of times per week. And consider replacing sugary drinks with green tea. Small changes, but consistent signals. And over time, those signals shape your biology. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these foods are already part of your routine? And which one will you start adding this week? Write it in the comments, because awareness is the first step, but action is what changes outcomes. I'm Dr. Richard. If this helped you understand your body in a deeper way, make sure you subscribe for more science-based strategies to stay healthy, active, and independent after 50. And I'll see you in the next video.